Listen up, you camper. You found yourself on the way to Camp Green Lake, and here's what you need to know. When you arrive at Camp Green Lake, you meet a man called Mr. Sir. Mr. Sir may seem like he's there to keep you safe, but don't believe it for a minute. He's actually camp security, and he's not someone you generally want to hang around with.
He carries the gun everywhere he goes in case a yellow spotted lizard appears in the parched, dry desert. Beware, if you choose to run away, there's going to be no water around for miles away.
You'll get work clothes and relaxing clothes. They are your uniform. Once you've used your work clothes for 3 days, they will become your relaxation clothes. Your relaxation clothes will become your work clothes. You will also get a canteen.
Mr. Sir will show you around camp and who your counsellor is, and what you will be doing at camp, and where you would be sleeping.
Mr. Sir will also say if you find anything interesting, tell him or your counsellor. And your counsellor will take you to the warden, and if the warden likes what you found, you will get the rest of the day off.
Here's a top tip to help you survive Camp Green Lake. Don't get on the wrong side of anybody or you'll be severely punished.
Stop! This is a life or death situation. Now you've met the terrible Mr. Sir, I need to tell you about your counsellor, Mr. Pendanski.
You need to know this information or you won't be prepared for the rest of your time at Camp Green Lake.
Most of your campmates will call Mr. Pendanski Mom, and you may want to as well because he's one of the nicest out of all the adults.
Mr. Pendanski will take you to your fellow inmates and your living quarters not long after your arrival.
Mr. Pendanski will take you to ready to eat.
He will take care of you for as long as you need.
You have a set of cots where you and your inmates will sleep. Your cots don't get washed that often.
If you're used to a good night's sleep at home, then you're going to be tired at Camp Green Lake because you will only have 4 hours to sleep.
Now that you have survived your first day at camp, I will prepare you for what's coming next. The hardest work you will ever do. Every day you have to dig a hole 5 feet deep and 5 feet wide. Your shovel is your measuring tool. You are digging holes because the warden wants to find Kate Barlow's treasure.
Now you know how to dig holes. This is how to survive when you're in the holes. The water truck comes randomly. Use your water wisely because the water truck comes randomly. Also, your canteen's small. The toilets are very unpleasant. It's your home.
During the hottest hour of the day when the sun is at its brightest.
Now you know the basics. I'm going to tell you what to do when you find valuable items. Don't tell the campmates, otherwise they might bribe you into giving it to them. Pretend that you found it when the water truck comes around.
If you discover something you think is valuable, give it to an adult unless it's a fossil. Top tip, try and find the shortest shovel. This is because when your shovel is your measuring tool and the shorter the shovel, the quicker you can do your hole.
Listen up, unfortunate viewer. If you have survived your first few challenges at Camp Green Lake, well done, but the worst is still yet to come.
Yellow spotted lizards are the worst. Try to avoid them at all costs. Here's how to spot them. They have 11 yellow spots. You'll only be able to count them if they get close to you. If they get close to you, they will either bite you or leave you alone. They will leave you alone if you eat onions because they do not like onions. They have a scaly body and a frill around their neck, and it goes up whenever they get angry.
Their venomous bite will make you have a slow and painful death.
There are also rattlesnakes at Camp Green Lake. Don't bother them, they won't bother you. There's also tarantulas at Camp Green Lake. You'll find them in a deep hole.
Tarantulas are very rare at Camp Green Lake. If you see one, just run away. Scorpions are really rare. You can sometimes find them in the rec room, and some are lizards' dinner.
Don't be fooled by the adults. They are using you to find Kiss and Kate Barlow's treasure because they don't want to dig their own holes.
Camp Green Lake's not really a chance to be good, and you've already seen Mr. Sir, he's just cross all the time.
If you mess with Mr. Sir, he will not give you a water refill.
If you mess with Mr. Sir, he will tell you to the warden.
If you don't know who the warden is, keep watching on. You need to know about her.
The warden is the worst. She has rattlesnake venom for her nail polish. Careful she doesn't scratch you with it.
If you survived your first day at camp, this information might be helpful.
Now you know about the warden, you might need to know about some history of the camp.
It all started when Sam started selling onions and Miss Catherine was a teacher.
One day Kate and Sam was in the schoolhouse, and Kate leaned in for a kiss. Trout Walker seen them kissing through the window. The next day, Trout and his men got a fire and set the schoolhouse on fire.
Kate was so upset that she ran to the police station, but before she can say anything, he said, "Give me a kiss and I'll sort it all out." Before Sam knew the schoolhouse was on fire, he was going to sell his onions.
Kate saw Trout Walker on his boat following Sam. Then, bang, as a gunshot echoed through the lake. Sam fell in the water as he died.
When Sam got killed, Kate left her heartbreak behind.
Kate had become an outlaw. This was because Kate would kill people then kiss them. She then gathered the name Kissing Kate Barlow.
Kate robbed the stagecoach that Stanley Yelnats was the second was in and stole his suitcase.